What is up, best friends, and welcome back to the Modern Nest Masterclass. I'm your host, Darren, the proud owner and broker in charge of Modern Nest Realty, located in downtown Concord, North Carolina. And today we are going to be talking all about putting a mobile home on land in North Carolina. Holler if you're with me and get excited, guys, because we're about to get into it. As always, I have my disclaimer. I am a realtor, but I am not your realtor. You never want to share your private personal information with anyone unless you are working with that person exclusively or that agency exclusively, guys. Okay. So, Modern Nest Realty, we do work with amazing clients in North Carolina for mobile home transactions, and you can book a private appointment with our team of experts at modernnestrealtygroup.com. So, to kick things off, when we talk about this topic, we have to acknowledge how many freaking names this classification of home type actually has. Okay. So, here in the South, you could hear them be referred to as a mobile home, a manufactured home, a trailer. That could be a single wide, double wide, triple wide, or fun fact, in England, they call them park homes. And I think that is just so cool. I think we should do that here. But what is super important about this classification of home type, guys, is that not all land allows for mobile homes, and you can't just assume that you can pull up and plug up, right? There are steps and there is a process to doing it the right way, and that is the best way because that's going to ensure that in the future you can have insurance and a mortgage on that property. Get excited, right? So, the first thing you want to do, guys, is you want to verify with the local zoning that a manufactured home or a mobile home can be placed on that parcel, right? There can be lots of different restrictions for that. If they do allow it, let's say they do, right, there can still be additional restrictions. These restrictions can look like age restrictions. They can look like a certain roof pitch restriction. They can look like them being permanently affixed and the hitch and stuff being removed and going through the full process of getting that certificate of occupancy and having it being converted to real property, right? So when a mobile home or manufactured home is created, it's basically personal property like a boat or like a car, right? You go through the certain process and then you convert it to real property or real estate, right? Real estate is going to be more valuable to you than personal property, right? If it's still in a personal property state, guys, it's basically a 3-bedroom boat, right? So you're going to be limited on financing and different stuff if it's not done the right way. You want to do it the right way, okay? If it's worth doing, it's worth doing the right way. But number one, you want to verify with that local zoning any requirements as far as age, as far as transportation, as transporting the unit to the site. There can be different fees associated with that. And different things that go into that. But essentially, your first stop is going to be verifying that it can go there. Just because you see one down the street or just because the neighbor has one does not mean, friend, that you can actually have one on that parcel, right? Every county is different. Every location is different. They always say in real estate, location, 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 and your results are going to vary, in different locations, of course. But there can be those restrictions. And guys, next thing, you want to make sure that if the land that you are purchasing, you can have access to it, right? If there is an easement or if there is a deed of right of way already in place, that is great. But you want to make sure that you can access this land to get to where you're going for your home site, right? So verify any easements and have a survey, guys. A lot of people don't want to have a survey, but I highly, highly recommend that you always get a survey when you do a real estate transaction, okay? So a couple of other things to think about when you're going through this process is I want to make sure that you do a cost analysis with your agent and you are aware of all of the moving pieces that it takes, right? So number one, whatever your unit costs. And guys, I know they sell them everywhere. I know there are places on the highway, the dealerships and stuff, you would say, that sell them. People buy them off Facebook Marketplace. People buy them off Craigslist or whatever. But the units come in from all different places. But you want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence and you know how much it's going to cost, right? So, number one is going to be how much your unit cost, and then how much it's going to be to improve the land for that unit to take place. So you want to think your everything from the land episode, guys, but you want to think your water, your if that's going to be a public or a private source of water. You want to think your waste, your septic, if that's going to be public or private. You want to think your power, how much it's going to cost you to get power out to the home site. You got to think about your driveways and your grading, getting everything to where it's going to have nice water runoff and it's going to be great. And then the permits, from like full stop permits, from beginning to end, right? You want to have that CO, that certificate of occupancy, so that it is a full legal structure. So a lot of times that's going to require going through certain processes of like having a permanent foundation, having it permanently tied down. 9 times out of 10, you have to have that brick foundation, to get a loan. But I have seen it to where it wasn't the brick foundation, but it was like officially tied down, if that makes sense. It was permanently tied down in a fix underneath the home in other ways. And it had a full certificate of occupancy and it was fully permitted. But you're going to get permits, for your septic, for your well, for all those good things, your electrical, your plumbing, and make sure that you get that full certificate of occupancy. That certificate of occupancy, guys, that's like the final stop to having it as a legal, insurable property, right? So you want to make sure that all of that is done, and it is done. It's going to take some time, is what I'm trying to allude to. And you want to make sure that you have double the time and double the money that you think it's going to take for the process, because things change, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it was insightful for you wanting to put a mobile home on land here in North Carolina. Mobile homes are great options that are affordable. Now, a lot of people say that mobile homes do not appreciate, and they do appreciate differently, guys, than a stick-built structure, right? So for a lot of folks, guys, mobile homes can be a good, affordable option. The financing can be a little different. There's different things that you want to look out for that I'm not going to jump into super big depth about today. But there are a lot of different options when it comes to mobile homes, and they can be at a much affordable price point. The financing can look a little different in some aspects, but you want to know what your options are when it comes to purchasing a house. And if you do find yourself, where the market has really gone up wherever you're living, you may want to check into a mobile home and see if that could be an option for you. But if you have any questions, you could definitely feel free to reach out to our office. You can contact and book appointments with all of our experts at modernnestrealtygroup.com. And I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.